Hey there, this is Teacher Elizabeth with another art video for you guys to do while we are waiting out the quarantine for COVID-19. Making art is something positive to do to pass the time, so try super hard to pay attention to the video so you'll know what to do for your art project today. And the pictures you're seeing now are murals I have done and where the murals are located. I just want to share with you guys some of the art that I make when I'm not teaching. All right, let's get started. This lesson is about symmetry. All we need to know about symmetry for today is it's a mirror image. When you're looking at this picture, you can see that dotted line going down the center of the butterfly. If you folded that paper in half, those two sides of the butterfly would match. Now look at this leaf. The same thing would apply. And what I mean is, if you folded that leaf in half, took both sides and matched them up, you would find that all those little veins coming off the stem would match like a mirror image. Now look at the center of this kiwi fruit. The same thing would apply. Visualize a dotted line going down the center of this kiwi. And then if we folded the kiwi on that line, both sides of the kiwi would match exactly, which makes it symmetrical. Next, I'm just showing you the art supplies you're going to need. Super easy, colored pencils, paper, and pencil. All right, before we start the project, we need to do a warm-up exercise. We're just going to doodle with organic shapes. Organic in this context just means that the shapes are round and look like something you'd find in nature, like leaves and flowers. Notice how the shapes appear 3D as they turn, like a piece of ribbon for a birthday present. I do this by making the shape have thin and thick parts, like what you would see when you tie a bow. You can make any design you want for this project, so take one of those sheets of copy paper and doodle for a couple of minutes to help you figure out something to draw later. Now it's time to start the main project. Go ahead and get that second sheet of copy paper in front of you and fold it in half. Notice the fold is on the right side. I'm pointing at it. The next step after that is you're just going to start doodling and drawing organic shapes or any other shapes you feel like. There is no wrong way to do this. You're just randomly drawing shapes. Now what I did is I lightly drew it before I started this video clip so that I would know exactly where I want to draw. You may want to consider doing the same thing. First, draw out stuff really lightly, so if you want to change it, it's super easy to erase. And then you can just trace over those light lines with a very dark line. We need the drawing to be really dark. I had to retrace over everything to make it dark enough. Now you're going to see why it needs to be dark. The next step is to open the paper back up, fold it again on the same fold, flip it so that the fold is now on the left. So let's do that again. You open the paper up, you fold it in half again, you flip it so the fold's on the left. What this does is it makes it possible for you to see the drawing on the other side of the paper, for you now to trace. This step takes a little bit of patience because it's not totally easy to see the drawing underneath. So you may need to open up the piece of paper, peek at the drawing to remind yourself of what you've drawn. Now you just open the paper back up to reveal your perfectly symmetrical design. Now we're ready to color it in. This is the last part of the project. What I want you to do is to color in the background first, and then consider making your color symmetrical too, which means if one side of the paper has leaves that are a certain color of green, then you'll color in the leaves opposite on the other side of the piece of paper the same greens. Same thing like I'm doing right here with all of those stems. I'm using the same colors for all the stems. Now I'm coloring in the leaves, and I go from one side to the next to make the color symmetrical. And change up your colors. Yeah, I got a lot of leaves in my picture, but that doesn't mean I have to color them all in with the same green. Notice I'm using two different colors on the leaves I'm coloring in now. That way, they're a little different from the leaf directly next to them. Same thing, when up top, I'm using two different colors to color in the leaves at the top. Now moving on to the flowers. You'll notice that I use the same colors for the flower on the left as I do with the flower on the right, because I'm going for symmetrical color. The color is a mirror image of itself, just like the drawing is a mirror image of itself. So if we folded this paper in half, the colors would be symmetrical as well as the design. All right, awesome job. Now we're ready for the final step. You're going to add a whole nother layer of color on everything. Color everything in again so that no white of the paper shows through. You can add details to your drawing as well as make the color really pop. This is the end of the video. Great job getting this project done. And remember, anytime you do something new, you make yourself smarter. Until next time, be safe and be well.